We're in Florence, inside the Brancacci chapel, standing before a turning point in Western painting, Masaccios The Tribute Money. Painted in the 1420s, this fresco fuses sacred story with a brand new sense of space, light, and human presence. At first glance, it's serene. Mountains, a calm sky, a few buildings. But watch closely. Masaccio turns one wall into a stage where time unfolds across space. Figures are weighty, the light is consistent, and the architecture feels solid enough to touch. In the next minutes, we'll trace how a single beam of light and a few decisive gestures reinvented the way a story could be painted. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support helps us keep creating more educational videos like this one. Here at the center, Christ stands calm among the apostles as a tax collector in a short red tunic demands payment. The scene comes from the Gospel of Matthew. A tribute is owed, and Peter bristles at the challenge. Christ's right hand points left, sending Peter to the water. His gaze anchors the group, while gold halos, tilted into perspective, kiss the luminous sky. This is the fulcrum of the narrative. Masaccio sets up a triad of moments, the demand at center, and miracle at left, and the payment at right. One man, Peter, appears 3 times, knitting the story into a single, continuous space. Notice the long shadows sliding across the ground and against the architecture. The light comes from the right, exactly where the real chapel window sits. Masaccio synchronizes painted and actual light, making the fresco breathe with the room. The tax collector's leg muscles catch that light. The apostles' robes turn from brilliance to shadow with sculptural clarity. Look at the building's straight lines and gable. Those orthogonals steer your eye toward the central group, binding the figures to the space. It's perspective with purpose, geometry used not as a trick, but to anchor the drama in a believable world. Shift to the lakeshore. Peter kneels in his orange robe, reaching into a fish's mouth to find a coin, exactly as Christ predicted. The water ripples in cool blues. The rocky bank channels our eye to Peter's hand, mid-miracle. Masaccio keeps the gesture humble, almost practical, a fisherman doing what he knows, now with a touch of the divine. The distant hills fade into airy tones, as if moisture and light dissolve the far landscape, a new atmospheric perspective that deepens space and quiets the miracle. Orange flashes again here, the same robe as in the center, guiding us across the fresco's timeline. Now to the doorway, where Peter, older, resolute, delivers the coin. The encounter is stripped of spectacle, a simple handoff, an everyday civic gesture played against a crisp facade. The red-clad official waits on one leg, while the shadow at the threshold makes the air feel cool. Classical architecture frames the act of paying, bridging biblical narrative and the civic Florence outside the chapel. Sacred duty meets civil order, miracle meets law. By aligning the conclusion at this architectural edge, Masaccio lets the story resolve where structure is strongest: stone, cornice, and the human handshake of obligation. Lift your eyes to the pale sky and blue-gray mountains. The air thins as distance grows, color cools and edges soften. A lone tree catches highlights from the right, its leaves almost pricked with the same light that halos the saints. This consistent illumination stitches every corner of the scene together: mountains, figures, architecture, so the eye never questions what it sees. In a fresco technique that demands speed and certainty, Masaccio models forms with broad, confident transitions from light to shadow, giving even the air a gentle, believable weight. Return to the apostles clustered around Christ. Their bodies are solid, draperies break over knees like carved stone, and faces register thought rather than theatrical shock. The foreshortened halos slice through space like discs, and Christ's stillness becomes the composition's compass. Masaccio absorbs innovations from his Florentine world, Brunelleschi's perspective, Donatello's sculptural realism, and turns them into painting. The result is radical empathy, sacred figures who stand in the same light we do, weighed by gravity, shadow, and choice. Future giants, including Michelangelo, would study these walls to learn how to make paint think in 3 dimensions. A Tribute Money is more than a biblical illustration. It's a blueprint for Renaissance storytelling. Time flows left to right, geometry focuses meaning, and light binds miracle to everyday life. In one fresco, Masaccio shows how painting can reason, persuade, and glow like the real world. Next time you meet this scene, trace Peter's orange robe across the wall and feel the sun from the chapel window complete the illusion. That's the quiet genius here. Faith rendered through space and light. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next masterpiece.